Hey everyone, good to see you all again. It is time for another Bracketology update. I just realized not too long ago that Joe Lenardi made his most recent update actually early this morning. Let's go ahead and look at first the on the bubble teams. Last four byes are Louisville, Connecticut, Georgia Tech, and VCU. Georgia Tech playing some good basketball. Drake, Seton Hall, and then Michigan State versus Xavier in the last four in. Michigan State has now made it on the last four in list. I'm a little surprised they lost. Oh no, they beat IU. First four out: Boise State, Utah State, St. Louis, and Duke. Boise State and Utah State obviously both reside out of the Mountain West. St. Louis, they need to do decently well in the A10 at least, I think, to get into the tournament as an at-large bid, even if they don't win the conference championship. Or maybe they do have to win the conference championship to get the overall bid if they want to get in. Next four out: IU, SMU, Memphis, and Syracuse. Syracuse picked up a needed win over Clemson today. I think Syracuse should have been moved up just a little bit, I will say. I did sound like I was a little harsh to them. I wasn't trying to be. That was kind of mean of me to do that to them. I do apologize. Wasn't quite too nice to them. I shouldn't have been like that. I was being a little harsh. Region 1, not a lot of movement. Only got Virginia down to a 5. Purdue and Virginia, I think, traded spots. Purdue, I did not see them being a 4 seed at this point. I wasn't sure about them this year, and they're really looking like a potential Sweet 16 team. My goodness. Georgia Tech to an 11, and then Arkansas up to a 3. Houston back to a 2. Looks like West Virginia and Houston traded spots too. West Virginia in a very tough and very exciting game against Baylor. We'll talk about that here in just a second. Of course, Michigan State added Florida State down to a 4 after their loss to North Carolina. So let's go ahead and quickly go through these picks. Gonzaga, conference tournament for the WCC starts tomorrow. I'll have more information on conference tournament stuff. I do want to mention real quick too, disregard what I said at the Atlantic 10. I didn't quite get to it in time. I'm going to start with the West Coast Conference predictions tomorrow. So you'll see that video early tomorrow morning. Missouri and Rutgers. I'm going to take Missouri. Rutgers has just been kind of abysmal lately. And then I'm going to take the upset here. Western Kentucky, I think can still do it. Virginia has been nowhere. They should be much lower than a 5. They are overseeded. They have bad losses as of late. We're talking losses they should not be taking. But Texas versus UC Santa Barbara, I see the upset here, but Shaka Smart, I think, is going to be on the mindset of I don't want to lose in the first round again. So I'm telling you, Shaka Smart's job could possibly be in jeopardy, honestly. And I was talking about this much earlier, even before the season got started. Texas needs to figure it out, though. They've lost 6 of the last 8 games or something like that. They have not won a lot lately, and that's not good going into March Madness overall. Tennessee VCU is a coin flip. I'll take Tennessee this time. They can get it back together. They just need to start, and they need to get it going now. And I got Kansas over Eastern Washington, Virginia Tech, Connecticut. Connecticut with James Bouknight. That team, I think they're better than Virginia Tech at the moment. Virginia Tech hasn't. I don't know what to make of them right now. Got Iowa over Grand Canyon, Gonzaga, Missouri. I'm going to go Gonzaga. Western Kentucky could upset Texas, but I don't know. Texas, it just, if they get back into that, the groove they were in, especially earlier in the season, they'll be just fine. And then I gotta take Kansas over Tennessee. Iowa, Connecticut. Like I said, I could see Connecticut being a bit of a push to Iowa, but Iowa, I think, can beat them. Gonzaga, Texas could be a really tough game. Gonzaga, of course, never know. They're going to have some pressure on them if they're undefeated and labeled the best 1 seed, which is looking more likely at this point. I'm going to go Gonzaga, though. Then Kansas, Iowa. I took Kansas the last time. Kansas can score, but this time I'll take Iowa. It's a coin flip there, too. but I gotta take Gonzaga to the Final Four. Iowa could beat Gonzaga, though. I think they'll learn from their last matchup if they end up facing off. Illinois is going to win the first game. Illinois picked up a huge win over Michigan. I don't know where that came from. Michigan just didn't show up to play. I mean, I think it's one of those. I don't know if you can really say that, though, about you kind of see it coming things. I mean, Michigan just kind of. I don't know. They did not look good at all. I don't know if this is the sign of things to come. Okay, let's get off the computer, please. Of course, we got to have a stupid ass notification come up. All right, we're going to move on. San Diego State over LSU. I liked San Diego State a lot more. They've played very, very well lately. They're on a hot streak. I'm going to take the upset. I think Colorado's also overseeded. I just don't care for them really too much. I know they beat USC, but Colorado's been showing a lot of struggles this year of their own too. And Michigan State and Xavier, they can defend. Michigan State's got some good shooters. They got Joey Hauser, you got Langford, Rocket Watts. I mean, they got some good players on their team. I mean, Xavier can defend the three well too. That's going to be tricky for Colorado. I just don't like the matchup there. Oklahoma State's just like I said before. Oklahoma State is really come together this year. It's amazing to watch this team actually. USC, I think, could scrape by Drake and the winner of Drake at Seton Hall. At this point, I think Seton. I don't know who's going to win that game at this point. West Virginia over Navy. West Virginia lost a very close game to Baylor. Well, I'll mention about Baylor here in just a minute when we get to them. West Virginia has shown that they will put up a fight no matter who they're up against. That's why I like West Virginia in this tournament. They're one of the teams I feel like can go far because of their fight. The fight they have in them. They don't give up. Until the final play. Alabama over Cleveland State. Alabama offensively has not looked the same. I mean, that does cause for some concern, I will say. I mean, they're not, I mean, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Could see the upset here. Illinois, though, Illinois proved that they have depth on their team and they got multiple guys who can score. That's a good sign. That's a very good sign. How I talked about with Forest State, you got multiple guys who can really score. And then Oklahoma State versus the winner of Michigan State, Xavier. I think Michigan State will beat Xavier. I don't know if Oklahoma State can beat Michigan State. That's a very tricky game because Michigan State, I mean, they turn on the switch against Illinois and then Ohio State. I mean, they're 3-1. They're 3-1 in their last four, so I can't see USC beating West Virginia. Although the Mobley brothers could cause problems, West Virginia's been so tough this year, and then I could see an upset here. But Alabama has had a. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna change it up this time. I'm gonna go North Carolina. That's a really risky pick, I know, because North Carolina's been really inconsistent this year, but Alabama offensively has looked weaker lately. That's not good. I've heard something about they're like having less than 1 point per possession or something like that. That's not good at all. I'm just changing it up a little bit. Don't hate on me in the comments. This isn't purely hating on Alabama. I'm sure they can definitely make a deeper run. They just need to kind of pick it back up a little bit. I'm going to take Illinois over Oklahoma State. Illinois is going to be on upset alert probably the whole tournament, honestly. Everyone's going to be like, ooh, they're going to fall or something like that. Everyone's going to be like Hawkeyeing them in this tournament. So, get what you get. West Virginia, I think, will knock off North Carolina's little run, and then West Virginia, Illinois. I've had that gut feeling all year. I mean, West Virginia, I personally think can get to the Final Four. Illinois, it's the thing of can they get the Sumu back in time? I think that it don't matter. That's a tough one because Dosunmu is one of the best closers in the league. And say Illinois is down, and West Virginia can push you. That's the thing. I know I took Illinois to Final Four last time, but I mean, like I said, I've had that feeling about West Virginia. Baylor over Texas State. Baylor wins their first conference regular season title in 71 years. It's a long time. Baylor really came alive there. They shot the ball very well. Multiple guys who scored double digits. Jared Butler really being the leader of the offense too. I mean, that looked like old Baylor, honestly. Or just overall, Baylor played great. In Maryland, I've liked Maryland more than UCLA. I don't think Toledo can upset Creighton. Toledo hasn't looked great lately. They've been losing kind of more left and right. And Creighton, I know Creighton can play well, but good God, I just at times they just love to give the game away. Purdue has been impressing me more. I'm very impressed with this Purdue team this year. They got size. They got scores. They can definitely take over the game when necessary. They're really starting to evolve. That's what makes a team dangerous when they're starting to really like fine tune themselves. It gets interesting. Speaking of Wisconsin, yeah, I know I took them to the Sweet 16 last time, but Jesus, this team looks like a disaster. They can't score. This team is not even that good right now. Georgia Tech's been playing better, honestly. They are a little sneaky, I'd say. Arkansas will beat South Dakota State. Clemson lost to Syracuse. St. Bonaventure's more of a defensive. This is a defensive game. This would be like a low-scoring defensive effort. I'll take Clemson. Houston's going to beat Siena. Houston's played really well lately. Baylor, Maryland could be a possible upset, but I just don't think Maryland can keep up with Baylor. And then I got Purdue beating Creighton. Georgia Tech, Arkansas. What the hell? All right, Arkansas is going to beat Georgia Tech, and then Houston's going to beat Clemson, which would set up a heck of a Sweet 16 game. I got Baylor beating Purdue. I think, the way Arkansas has played lately, this would be a clash. Oof, boy. I mean, you're talking more of a defensive dominated team versus a more offensive team in Arkansas. Arkansas could score a bunch. Houston could play some stifling defense. I think when it comes down to it, I think Arkansas just, I think they can push it. I know. It all depends on the matchup. And right now, I think Arkansas can definitely push it. I don't know. Baylor, Arkansas. Baylor played much better lately. But I'm still nervous about them. I really don't know. I have to take Arkansas because I'm like I said, Baylor, they could slip again, and I'm not about to go through. I'm just right now. It is what it is, and I forgot to change that to Michigan, but that's okay. Michigan's going to be James Madison. Michigan, though, like I said, was that a just outlier loss, or is that the beginning of the end? I don't think it's the beginning of the end, honestly. I think that was just an outlier loss. I think Loyola beat Oregon. Oklahoma, ooh, I don't know. Oklahoma's been kind of shady lately. I'm not so sure about them. That team has been kind of Wichita State's been pushing some teams this year. I'll take. You know what? I'm gonna take Wichita State just to change it up just a little bit, and then I'm gonna go FSU over Belmont. Although Belmont, I forgot to mention this. Belmont has been losing a little bit lately, but I still wouldn't count them out. FSU lost to North Carolina's bothering me, honestly, just a little bit, but never know. Texas Tech will beat Colorado State. I'm not really big on Colorado State. I know they've only lost 4 times, but I just think they're whatever. Villanova, yeah, we already know my opinion on Villanova. I think Florida will beat Louisville. Ohio State over UMBC. Michigan's going to beat Loyola Chicago. It'll be a rematch of the Final Four from 2018. I think FSU can beat Wichita State. I have an upset. Villanova needs to play better. That's all I'm going to say. I think Ohio State can beat Florida, although Florida could upset Ohio State. Michigan, FSU, heck of a game here. I mean, Michigan's Michigan kind of cracked. I don't know. That's like I said. But as of right now, though, I think Michigan can win. And then I'm gonna go Texas Tech over Ohio State. Ohio State, yeah. Things changed on them a bit real quickly. Michigan over Texas Tech. I'm gonna take them to the Final Four. And then to the championship game, Gonzaga, West Virginia. I'm going to go Gonzaga, and then I'm going to go Michigan over Arkansas, which will set up a heck of a championship game. I'm going to go Michigan to win it also. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys tomorrow for the first of 9 conference tournament prediction videos.